The absolute truth can be defined as the perfect person. He is perfect in every way. This perfection can be divided into six parts, namely relations, emotions, intentions, cognitions, conations, and will. Perfect relation means that the absolute truth is satisfied in relationship to himself, and everyone in relationship to him needs no other relationship. Perfect emotion means that he is always full of bliss, and anyone who associates with the absolute truth also becomes full of bliss. Perfect intention means that the absolute truth wishes everyone well. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He has no malice. He never intends anything harmful to himself and therefore has no death desire. Perfect cognition means that he knows himself perfectly, and this knowledge is all the truth there is to be known. Anyone who knows him knows the perfect truth. Perfect action means that whatever he does is executed perfectly without any flaw. There are no adverse outcomes as a result of his actions. He makes no mistakes. Finally, perfect will means that he never chooses imperfection over perfection. He is never tempted by delusion, cruelty, or immorality. He always chooses perfection. These six aspects of the perfect person are combined into three aspects called Sat, Chit, and Anand. The relational aspect is called Sat, the cognitive and conative aspect is called Chit, and the intentional, emotional, and willing aspect is called Anand. This makes the understanding slightly simpler. Accordingly, the perfect person is also called the supreme person, the original person, and the complete person. The original person is the creator aspect of the perfect person. The supreme person is the controller aspect of the perfect person. The complete person is the enjoyer aspect of the perfect person. Therefore, the absolute truth is also defined as the creator, controller, and enjoyer of everything. When applied to himself, the perfect person is his own creator, controller, and enjoyer. His innate bliss is so great that he needs nobody else. He is fully satisfied with himself. And yet, he creates a world because there is something beyond self satisfaction. You might ask, what is beyond self satisfaction? The answer is loving devotion. The absolute truth creates a world to enjoy loving devotion. This world comprises living entities with the same sixfold capacities for will, intention, emotion, cognition, connection, and relation. However, once the absolute truth creates such a world, some living entities prefer self satisfaction over loving devotion. Even other living entities develop a desire to become like the absolute truth. The absolute truth accepts the consequences of his actions because loving devotion cannot be forced. If a living entity wants self satisfaction, there is a world for that. If a living entity wants to become the creator, controller, and enjoyer instead of loving devotion, then there is a world for that. Thus, from the absolute truth expand three kinds of realities, which we can call ideal, possible, and impossible. The ideal is loving devotion, the possible is self satisfaction, and the impossible is trying to become the creator, controller, and enjoyer. In Vedic texts, these are called bhakti, mukti, and bandhan, or devotion, liberation, and bondage. They are also called internal energy, marginal energy, and external energy. The external energy is the realm of impossibility and is also called the material world. In this world, the living entity tries to become the creator, controller, and enjoyer. If he behaves morally like the absolute truth, then he gains in power. He can go up to the status of Brahma, who is the creator, controller, and enjoyer of one universe. But all these positions are temporary. They may last millions, billions, or trillions of years, but ultimately they end. Even the position of self-satisfaction is temporary. Only loving devotion is eternal. The three kinds of realms expanded from the absolute truth are simply different aspects of the absolute truth. They can be understood using the analogy of an ordinary thing like a pen. Ideally, it is a pen. Possibly, it is a toy. And impossibly, it is a car. Someone can sit on top of the pen and pretend that it is a car. He can pull the pen forward and backward and pretend that the car is moving. All that is a self-created delusion. The pen will never be a car. A pen can possibly be a toy. That is not a complete delusion. However, we cannot get much fun out of playing with a pen. We can play with a pen for some time and then it will end. A pen is ideally only a pen. In the same way, eternal devotion is the ideal state. Self-satisfaction is temporarily possible, and trying to become the creator, controller, and enjoyer is a pure delusion. If we understand that a pen is not a car, we know the truth. If we know that the pen is possibly a toy, again we know the truth. But these are not ideal truths. The ideal truth is that pen is just a pen. In this way, there is one perfect truth, many possible truths, and many impossible truths. They are the three aspects of the absolute truth.